They laughed, not just once, not just behind his back. They laughed when he failed. They laughed when he tried. They laughed because that's what people do when they don't understand a storm that hasn't arrived yet. He was the quiet one, the awkward one, the one who didn't have it all figured out. He didn't talk much, not because he had nothing to say, but because the world never listened when he did. So he learned something early. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is where pain learns to sharpen itself into power. You don't get to rise without being broken first. And he was broken again and again and again by people, by circumstances, by life. But he didn't scream. He didn't explain himself. He didn't beg to be understood. He went silent, not out of defeat, but out of strategy. He understood something they didn't. You can't argue with results. You can't mock a man who rises without ever saying a word, because silence isn't emptiness. Silence is pressure. It's every insult stored like fuel. It's every moment of humiliation welded into mental armor. You see, they thought they broke him, but they were feeding him every "you'll never make it," every "who do you think you are," every smirk, every whisper, every fake smile. That's what made him dangerous. Not because he wanted revenge, but because he wanted freedom. He didn't want to prove them wrong. He wanted to prove himself right. And that kind of man becomes unshakable. While they posted pictures of parties, he stayed home building vision boards. While they chased attention, he chased mastery. While they slept, he suffered. While they joked, he journaled. While they gossiped, he grinded, with tears in his eyes, fists clenched, and a heart that refused to quit. He didn't do it for claps. He did it because there was a war inside him he refused to lose. They didn't see the early mornings. They didn't see the breakdowns. They didn't see the nights where he questioned if it was worth it. But that's what makes him different. He stayed. He kept going. He didn't need approval to continue. He just needed one reason, his own reason to rise. And when the glow-up came, it wasn't loud. There were no big announcements. No need to explain. Because when real men win, they win in silence. Now they watch. Now they wonder. Now they whisper again. But this time, it sounds different. Did you see what he's doing now? He's built something crazy. He looks different, feels different. They used to laugh. Now they analyze. Now they want to learn. Now they call it focus. Now they say, "I always believed in you." But he remembers. He remembers every moment he stood alone. He remembers when no one texted back. He remembers when the room went quiet as he walked in. He remembers when his heart felt heavier than his future. And he doesn't hate them. He doesn't need to. Because silence taught him forgiveness. Not for them, but for himself. He forgave himself for the years he wasted trying to be understood. He forgave himself for shrinking to fit places that were never meant for his fire. He forgave himself for staying loyal to people who were loyal to his downfall. See, real strength doesn't scream. It walks forward. It doesn't chase people. It builds empires they can't ignore. It doesn't clap back. It outgrows, outlasts, outshines. He didn't become a man because life was easy. He became a man because life gave him nothing, and he turned nothing into a mission. His silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. It was survival. It was sacred. Now, he speaks less, but moves differently. He walks in rooms with quiet fire, not needing to explain where he's been, because his presence tells the story. And the story? It's not about revenge. It's about redemption. He wasn't building muscles. He was building meaning. He wasn't stacking money. He was stacking moments that mattered. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was trying to respect himself. They used to laugh. Now they listen. Now they take notes. Now they ask, "How? Did you do it?" And he could tell them. He could tell them about the nights he couldn't breathe from the pressure. He could tell them about losing people he thought would always stay. He could tell them about eating dinner alone, working 18 hours a day, hoping it would all be worth it. But he doesn't. He smiles. Because a man who's built from the inside out doesn't need to speak. His silence says everything. You want to know what silence sounds like? It sounds like growth. It sounds like peace. It sounds like discipline finally winning over distraction. He doesn't need applause. The mirror is enough. He doesn't chase attention. His life demands it. See, they still talk. But now it's different. Now they say, he's built different. Now they try to find what he found in the dark. But here's the truth most will never say out loud. Some men are only born after they've been destroyed. And he didn't just survive. He rebuilt. He upgraded. He evolved. They used to laugh at him. Now, they study his silence. Because somewhere, along the line, he stopped needing them. And he became the man they could never become.